Alrighty, fellow loggers. This is episode 2 of my small tutorial on the DLC expansion, the premium expansion pack. And today we are going to go over what these machines do and what they can and can't cut. Because like I said in my last video, it's very important with, especially with the price of these machines, you're going to want to make sure you get the right machine for the job. Alrighty, so they give you this one when you start the game off. This is the 911, I do believe. Yeah, the 911, I'm sorry, 911.5. Anyway, this particular harvester can cut every tree that is cuttable with a harvester, except for this big spruce. It will cut all the other trees down, and these redwood. It will not touch the sequoias, but it will cut all these other trees down, and the only one it will not cut is the big spruce. This one is the same way. This will cut all the trees except for the big spruce. We will not cut them down. Now, if you're in these and you just want to cut those down, but you still want to keep your length, like if you're harvesting, say, 5 meter wood, and you don't want to try to guess what 5 meters in my last video, I showed you how you can do that. Just cut it down with a chainsaw, go up the tree quite a little ways till it's thin enough, and the harvester will grab onto it and you can cut it while it's laying on the ground. You just have to flip the head to do that. This monster will cut everything except the sequoia. Nothing will cut the sequoias. Those are the sequoia, the big redwoods. There's not a thing except for the chainsaw that'll cut those as of right now. And it should be how it is permanently because if you've seen these redwoods in the real world, they're way bigger than what they're showing here. And there is no machine made that'll cut those down. This hot saw, yes, feller buncher. This will cut everything except these big ones and the big ponderosa pine, which are all the way down here. These ones. It won't cut these down either. I think it'll cut these down. I can't remember for going on. See, these trees here are all the trees in the map, and these are the biggest and next to biggest of each species. So you got the ponderosa pine. I think these are the long pole. Yeah, lodgepole pine. These are just your basic regular pine, but these are called old pine. These are the bigger ones, and these are called large if you actually want to store them bottom as placeables. That's all I did here was bought the field, placed the trees down just for this demonstration. And these are the large spruce, and these are the mediums. These are also the hardwoods over here. There's no leaves because I start off in the spring. I have that springtime mod, so you won't see full leaves on these trees. But these are the oaks, the big, medium, small, and these are, I think these are dogwood. Nope, American elm. And they go all the way down to this size here. That hot saw over there, a feller buncher, that can cut this down and smaller, and this one over here can cut these small ones down. And that's it. It can't cut these ones, the bigger ones. That hot saw can also cut these down and these, and it can take out all these bushes. There's these three sides of just scrub brush, basically. I think that might be the dogwood, actually. And then over here, I got just the smaller versions of the trees, which I want to use for this demonstration also. These can all be cut with the harvesters or hot saws or whatever. Pretty simple. I think these smaller ones just disappear when you hit it with the harvester, but I know these ones will give you some marketable timber. Small amount, but every little bit counts, especially if you're in logging. Oh God, does it ever. So this one and this one, well, I want to check this out. Make sure I'm not wrong about this. I know it cannot cut that big spruce, but I'm not sure about this one right here, this long pole. Lodge pole? Long pole? It's a pine. Let's back this up a little. I'm going to try to do this outside the cabin. It's pretty rare for me. Try to keep everything inside the cabin. If you notice in the right hand corner on the top, you should be able to see a cut symbol. If it can cut it. I think it can. Yeah, okay, it can. It can cut that down. And let's try this one again so I can make double sure so I'm not fibbing to you guys. Oh yeah, cut that down too. Okay, so it can cut everything down except for the big spruce and the sequoias. And I know for a fact I can't cut the big spruce down. I've tried many times. And now these bigger pine, these are a little tricky because the bottom of the stump is thick. You can see it's got that bell at the bottom. So when you first go up to it, if you're low, it'll tell you you can't cut it down, that the tree is too thick. But if you go up a little higher, you see you can cut it. Now, of course, now it won't say it now because I'm trying to show it to you. Try to get low on it. Of course it won't. But anyway, even with that other track harvester over there, same scenario. Just scooch up on the tree a little bit and it'll be able to cut that down. But I know it will not cut these. They've already getting the symbol on there. See, tree is too thick for this machine. And it will remain that way all the way up, because these are pretty straight. So, yeah. So if you want to buy a harvester, you can literally use that small one right here for everything on the map, except for the big spruce. But like I said, just cut these down with a chainsaw. If you see the reticle on the middle of my screen, you go up the tree about that far with your head laid down, and you'll be able to grab onto the tree. And the way it works now is it automatically brings the tree to the butt, or it brings the tree through the harvester head up to the butt of the tree, so you can start a fresh cut. It'll even do that on the oversized or these big ones. Like I said, the sequoias, there's nothing that'll cut those except the chainsaw. This machine right here, not this machine, the other one that I meant to hop into. Jesus. This machine, this thing is an absolute beast. But first thing you got to do, I mean, other than starting it up, obviously, is you have to unfold it. You notice the harvester head is right down there. It's tucked away. That's for transport. That's a real thing. What's not real, and I don't know why they did it this way, I guess they have their reasons, is when you unfold it, that disappears. And then it just reappears. I mean, they probably couldn't really fight with the animation. I have no idea, but that is what it is. But this thing can cut everything. So we'll just go up to this big spruce here, just to show you. Oop. Yeah, I'm just trying to do this with my Xbox controller in third person, which never works for me. Now see at the top of the tree, them clamps, so the minute you cut, that grapple automatically wraps around the tree. And then you can just swing this tree and put it wherever you want, basically. And to dump it, you basically hit the same button you would to dump the head on this hot saw, or feller buncher as you guys call it. It's on the Xbox controller, it is left bumper B, and them top jaws will come out. And then you can just harvest the tree as you know, however you want to. Whenever length you want to, I should say. Yeah, that's right. They won't let you just drop the tree anymore. You gotta cut it up. Okay, it's set at 5 meters. You can also, if you're careful, pick trees up off the ground with this. And I'll show you that here in a second. But this thing is an absolute monster. Very stable machine. Oh, And these tracks, they do go wider for more stability. See if I can remember. Let's see, let's see, adjust scale, change cut length, hold tree harvester, turn on a tree harvester, hire a worker. Okay, so none of that works. Let's see, close grab. See, it's the B button with the left bumper. Change cut length, fold tree harvester, tilt harvester head. Well, at any rate, what I'm doing here is I'm pressing my left bumper, and I'm pushing down on my right stick. Wait a second, why is that not working now? Oh, there it goes. Yeah, left bumper, push down on the right stick, or pull back on it, I should say. Oh, I'm sorry, that's left and right. Oh, okay, try this again. Left bumper, push left, and it opens it up. Push right, and it closes it up with the right stick. So that makes the machine more stable. See the PC part of that. I wonder if that's the mouse. Move your mouse right to close it. Excuse me, left button on your mouse, and right and left opens and closes. Okay, well, I got that squared away. Get rid of that help screen. Now, to pick up a tree that was already felled, that you already cut down, it's not hard, but it's tricky. Get back to the right control group here. So you're gonna need, of course, you can't just cut it down and pick it up with that machine because Giants won't let you do that anymore. So you have to use a chainsaw. So cut the tree down. Hop back in here. Now, like I said, this is not hard, it's just tricky. Now, see that top claw? That's controlled with your left bumper and your B button, or on the PC side of it, I think it's just the V key. See, the V? Yeah, the V opens and closes that. So what you're going to want to do is, first thing you want to do is tilt your head. Bring that down. And you got to kind of line up on the tree because you got to get that top claw to hit the tree as well. So you're going to want to go up to the tree, and you're going to want to pick it up like you normally would, like if you were going to cut it up, to get it into the harvester head. Then you want to lower your boom down and bring your secondary in. And then bring your main boom down as you're driving forward. If I can even do it here. And then you want to tilt, back it up a little bit, you want to tilt that main arm. And you want to get it so that top claw goes around the tree. And then you hit the button to close it, and you can pick it up. And then tilt your head back up. If it'll let you, but you won't. And basically just tilt that arm back up. And there you go. Just like you just cut it down. Now, why would you have to do this? I don't know, but it can be done. So if anybody tells you no, it can't be, say, hey, well, I just watched the video, guy just said it, showed, it can be done. And just to get it out, you just follow the same steps as when you first cut it down. Same thing. Got a bad habit of hitting buttons. Now, obviously, if this thing can cut down the biggest tree that no other one can cut, it can cut all of them, except for the hardwood trees. Them are a different story. These harvester heads cannot cut down any of the hardwood trees. which sucks because you can cut them in real life, but you can't do it with this, which is annoying kind of, but it is what it is. I didn't make the game. So now I just fold her back up and she's done. Okay, now this hot saw, feller buncher, as you guys call it, we call it a hot saw because it's got a saw on it that actually moves. And back in the day, it used to be a couple of knives in there. They were just steel blades. We call those shears. But it's a hot saw for that reason. This can cut any tree except for the big spruce and the big ponderosa pine. This one can't cut those. But when you go up to these pines, you see, of course it won't do it, but I'll tell you, you'll go up to these pine on the map and it'll tell you it's too thick. Just raise it up a little bit. But to show you the ponderosa pine down here, of course I made these ones all the way down to the end, so it takes the most amount of time to get to them. I don't remember if it could cut this or not. I don't think it can. Yeah, see it says no you can't. But you try to bring the blade up, still can't cut it. And still, you're just not going to be able to cut them ones down with a hot saw. Feller buncher, sorry. I keep saying hot saws, it's just what I'm used to. This one's the same way. It'll tell you at the bottom that you can't cut it. Think? Yeah, so you just won't. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, usually these log pole or long pole pine will tell you at the bottom that it's too thick, but just lift your head up a little bit and you'll be able to cut those as well. I said the only ones that cannot cut are the big ponderosa pine and the big spruce. Everything else can cut. And the beauty of having one of these is there's a lot more it can cut. It can cut down these hardwood over here, and you can cut them and stack them same way you do with a regular harvested wood here, like these evergreens. But it cannot cut the two biggest types. The real thick ones, it cannot cut these. This one here and this one here, they cannot cut down. Or that one or that one. But these ones, it can. And it just grabs on. And you can cut two of these at a time. It just looks really goofy. And sometimes it might glitch out. But if it's not the two of the biggest ones, it can cut them down. So if you just want to cut them, get them out of your way, or just bring them to the chipper, then this is the machine. And I'll show you this other one here. Real simple. Come on, get out of the head. Now be mindful of these because I mean, when you cut these smaller ones down, the branches like to get tangled up on everything. And you pretty much got to get it on the right side to cut these. But they can be cut with this. Trust me, take my word for it. I'm just trying to get through this video so I make it quick. Now these are the, I don't know what the hell are these called. Well, they're the little bushes you'll see all around the map, the smaller ones. They have collisions on them, but you can't cut them with a chainsaw. You can cut them with this. They just disappear. There's 3 sizes. And I'm going to save that last one, because that way there's another piece of equipment that'll cut those. And of course this can cut all the smaller trees over there down, just like everything else can. Okay. Now we got 2 other kinds of harvesters here. We've got the smaller one, which comes with the head already laid down. That cannot be tilted up. This is just for cutting on a landing, basically, for dragging trees up to it. This one is the bigger of the 2. Now this one too can cut everything on the map, or all the trees, even that big spruce. So if you can afford this one, This is definitely probably one of the ones you want to go with versus the big green machine there. No problem at all. Now this is a fixed machine. I mean, that's not an attachment. That's an option in the menu. It has the grapple, nothing, so you can use the attachments, and then it has the harvester head. Just don't mix the two machines up thinking that you're getting this one when you're actually buying the other one. Just remember, this is the bigger of the two Volvos. And like I said, the smaller head there on the other machine, that is basically just for cutting up on a landing. And that's the smaller head has a nice feature on it. That kind of sets it apart. Once you start it, you'll notice there's an extra set of claws on there. You see that there's the top claws, or what they call knives, because that's actually what does the delimbing. And then there's the roller wheels, the feeder wheels. But then there's this extra claw on here. That's handy for picking stuff up. And as soon as I can remember how to work it. Okay, right and left bumper at the same time, and then up and down on your right stick. Opens and closes that. So that's a handy little tool to have. So say you're really broke and all you have is a cable skidder and you have enough money to maybe buy this thing, but you still need something to load trucks with, this will load your trucks as well. Takes a little longer, but it'll do it. Works in a pinch. Shut that out because it's an OCD thing. And this thing, this wood cracker, this thing is pretty awesome. And again, this can cut everything except the big ones. It cannot cut any of the bigger trees. That's why I put this demonstration. All those ones that are on the right, they're the bigger versions, the large. It cannot cut any of those, but it can cut all the small stuff. Now, give you guys a little tip on this machine. If you want to keep this head, you don't want to keep doing this and moving and twisting and turning. Bring your secondary, which is a little boom, in close. And when your head tilts, wait for it to click, bring your secondary in, and you can bring that to the ground. Oop, I'm messing it up here. Trying to use this Xbox controller. That's what the problem really is. Bring it down, bring it in, and that'll be about the right height. That way, if I screw up here, you can hear it click when you put it up. That way you kind of know where it's at all the time. And this works like the regular harvester. You use the same button to turn it on. You just want to, where you see that blade, you just kind of want to eyeball that if you're in the cab and you go up to a tree. You want to kind of put the tree just a hair to the right of the blade. And it says it's too big for that machine. But if you go up the tree just a hair, suddenly it's not too big anymore. And then you just dump it like you do, like you're using the hot saw or feller buncher. It's your B button. And you hear that click, and I just drop my boom down. And it's in the same spot again. That way I don't have to keep fidgeting with it all the time. That's just what I do. You can do it however you want. Oh, I'm gonna run right into that pile. Well, like I said, this can take down all the trees, all the mid trees. The large ones, it cannot do. Although, and I'm going to check for my own side to see if my memory serves me. I think it might be able to take down these bigger pines, but you just got to go up on them a little bit. Yeah, that's right. The pine as well. You just got to go up on the tree a little bit. All right, you know what? Just for, I know I tested this machine, but I swear my memory's going to hell. But I'm sure you can't cut these big ones, and you can't cut the Ponderosa pine. Yeah, see, it says it's too big for the machine. Let's try up on it here. Yeah, still the same. Oh, well, if you go way up on the tree, you can cut it. Well, I suppose that makes sense. The thinner it gets as you go to the top. So if you don't mind having a tree stump like that, then have at it. I suppose it works at a pinch. Get rid of that. I wonder if you could do the same on the Ponderosa. Which I suppose it would make sense, because if you cut those down, or like instead of cut the big spruce down before you harvest them, the higher up on the tree you get. But I don't like leaving big stumps in the woods like that. Personal preference. Yeah, pretty high up on her this time. I think I can go much higher. That's as high as I can go with this head. And it's just too thick. So the Ponderosa pine, definitely no. The big ones, yeah, the rest of them I can cut. Boy, it's like night and day using a controller and using the joysticks. And the thing is, I used to be really good at using just the controller because, well, I started on Xbox. So kind of had no choice, but over the years. But this can do something that the other harvesters can't, this little woodcracker head. Them big hardwood trees over there, you cannot cut them down using this, but what you can do is if you role play like a tree service or something, you can cut the limbs off of it. And the bigger limbs you see, this thing will reach up there and snag them and take them right off. So if a fella wanted to do that, you get into some role play where you guys are a tree service, or if you're just doing a lot of chipping, uh, instead of using a chainsaw to cut all that off, you can use this instead. Uh, it's a process, not something I would do because it's just time consuming, I guess. But you gotta get your head in there, tilt it just the right way, get onto the tree, and not drop the head like I just did. Start back up. I know this seemed kind of. Yes, I don't suppose you just take my word for it, huh? Ah! Can't believe I just did that. uh, Try one more time. If I can get it back on there. Come on. Come on, you know you want to get on there. Just give me the symbol. Really? Oh, when you look at that. Just as I go to get on the cab. There it is. Okay. Now, where were we? Oh, yeah. Still trying to cut this limb off. Well, I sure talked it up, and then I go to do it, and I can't even do it, right? Okay, basically, you just got to get the knives on the limb. Try to tilt your head so it's at the same angle, roughly. And there you go. I'm not going to do any more of those because how long that took, but you can do it on all those limbs. You can cut them off. And this one will take, the smaller trees. The reason I left this one over here before, remember I said I wanted to leave this one, was because this machine can also get rid of those. But, there's a but here. When you do this, you go up to the tree like you normally would. Just get close to it. Hit the cut button. Oh, we gotta get on it first here. And it'll cut. It'll disappear, but then it leaves your head closed. And the only way to open your head back up is to restart the head. So you just turn it off and turn it back on. And that's it. Okay. So did I miss any machines? I don't think I did. I think I covered them all and what they do. But there is one other thing I want to show you before I end this video, and this is something that's really cool. It is the wood chipper, um, part of this pack. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about here. This bugger, right? Come on, keep going. Right here. This thing. This thing is awesome. And it's way over there. But that's okay, because the trees are over there too. I want to show you this one. That tree I just cut down with that wood cracker, that little bush over there, this thing will also take care of these, or those. Oh, you know what? I'll bet you my store is up at the top of the hill. Let's buy this again real quick. Let's see. Speed over there. Chainsaw. This is one of my favorite things to come in this pack. And it's basically just it's a stump grinder. You can use it to grind stumps. But for these annoying little trees that are everywhere, this will just take them right out. It's awesome. First you gotta turn it on and lift up there's a, where's it at? Which control is it now? There is a shield that needs to be brought up. This thing right here. I'm trying to remember which one it is, which button it is. Or eventually I'll get it. There it is. Right and left bumper at the same time. And right on the joystick. Right on your left, or right, or to the right on your right stick. This does not swivel. That's where it is. He's inside the cab. And you can grind that up while it's still on the ground, but I'm going to go over to this tree over here. It's like these little trees, like this little ponderosa pine here. You could just go right up to these, raise it up, go up to it, and just like you see, I'm sure you guys see it on the videos where they do this in real life, you just go right down the tree. And I'm making this look a lot harder than it is because one, I'm using an Xbox controller. Two, I'm out of the cab. In the cab, I can do this all day long with my joysticks, my eyes closed. But just try to do this for demonstration purposes. And let's see, the smaller ones will just disappear. But anything you can get this over top of, I think you can only go about that high. You can grind it down. Try this one here, maybe just take the top off of it. Yeah, so just grind until the top comes off and just go down the tree. Of course, you don't get nothing for it, so you're not chipping it, you're just getting rid of it. But it is a fun way to clear land if you just want to start making some fields. Or if you're clearing out for a road. And it will mulch the land just like you would expect it to. Just like so. This is a field, so that's why you see field in there. In the forest, it just turns into like cultivated field, whatever texture that is. Like that there. That'd be good for making roads, for role playing. So that's that. And we're just at the 35-minute mark here. I try to keep these things, big try, to keep these things short and try to pack as much information as I can as possible. But who knows? But hopefully you learned something. If you did, like, share, I don't know, whatever. Subscribe. Doesn't cost you a thing, but it does help the channel out. Gives me motivation, especially when you guys comment. I love seeing your comments. I try to react to all of them. If I miss one, I probably didn't miss it, you know. But anyway, like I said, now you know what all these machines do, and what they're capable of. A couple little tricks in there. Some stuff maybe you didn't know. Maybe you didn't know you could cut those down with the wood cracker there. Uh, yeah. So if I hope you enjoyed the video, like always. Hope to see you again. And hey, you guys have a wonderful day. I sure do appreciate you coming by and watching. And thank you very much.